All right, people. Before I play you the video of a crazy woke woman, let me run you this week's stories, okay? Main stories. 2 Syrian invaders jailed today for gang raping a teenage girl. Refugees who came illegally, these 2 Syrian young men, doctors and engineers and entrepreneurs, Dilgash Adil, 32, plied the 18-year-old woman with drinks until she was falling down drunk. After carrying out a sex assault, he invited his friend, this guy, another asylum seeker, Dr. Mohammed Abdul Salam, 28, to also rape the teenager. Let's have a look at this charmer. A white British woman and her young daughter were forced to barricade themselves in a bedroom after 5 Muslims. 5, imagine that. You're living in your house, your life was perfectly fine, but then suddenly you see 5 Muslims climbed over a fence and smashed their way into her home at 2:05 a.m. on Dayton Road, Huddersfield. Police arrested 4 of them at the scene, 2 hiding in a bathroom. So they had successfully broken into her house. Imagine, right? She was barricaded. She barricaded herself. 1 fled and 1 is still at large. 1 fled and is still at large. A machete was found inside. Rehan Salim, 19 years old, pleaded guilty and was sentenced to just 26 months in a young offenders institute. Look at this. Why young offenders? He's 19. Case against Mohammed Amin is still ongoing and police have not published the name. Okay, so that just happened in the last week or so, okay? Now let me play you this video of a woke woman who's telling you how Britain needs these illegal migrants from these third world cultures. I don't know when these illegal migrants are going to break into her house. Who knows? She might have a kink. Who knows?
Of course they
when
are.
they are the recognised
Hamas are a terrorist organization.
Yes.
Al-Shabaab are a terrorist
Yes.
organization. The Taliban are a designated terrorist organization.
But it's nothing to do with us.
One moment. Not only does this incentivize the Taliban to release more migrants because they will be able to get some kind of relief out of it, but there have been 2.1 million Afghans expelled from Pakistan and Iran this year alone.
Yes.
What kind of a country can tolerate, with a few economic opportunities it has, like Afghanistan, can tolerate another wave? Like,
We get
And what kind of a country? What do we care? If Afghanistan was a country like Sweden, yeah, and by Sweden I mean native Swedes. You know, if Afghanistan had the culture of Sweden, you know, feminist, modern, progressive, tolerant, entrepreneurial, then fine. But that's not the case. This idiot doesn't understand that 99% of Afghans, according to Pew, believe in Sharia, which includes women like her should be confined to their houses. Women like her should not be allowed to leave their house. Let me say that again. 99% of Afghans, according to Pew, they're not me, believe in Sharia law, which means women like her should not leave their houses. Women like her should not have education beyond primary school, and I think they're going to take that away too. No high school, no university degree. Women like her cannot even sit in front of men. They can't leave the house. What do you think is going to happen when you bring 1 million of those Afghans into Britain? These stupid women, they are literally bringing us all down with their lofty ideals. Whatever woke BS is cooking up in their deranged heads, they're killing us.
we're
getting
forgetting
loads
the
of calls on
humanity of
this.
these people, Mike.
Fuck your humanity.
They're people. They
I
are
know they're
people. They're not
people.
numbers on
Yeah, they are numbers.
a sheet.
I know they're people, and we have people in this country living on the streets because some Afghanistani people are
How
living in
could you
four-star
possibly
hotels.
assume that the two are equivalent?
They are equivalent.
You're assuming that a migrant is somehow standing there waiting to take the space
No,
of the
I'm not.
British.
What
Yeah. What else is going to happen? There are always limited amount of resources. Is that what they're teaching in our universities? Yeah. Is that their, well, actually, yeah, they don't understand economics because most of them are communists. There are always limited amount of resources. There are always limited amount of housing, limited amount of welfare payments, tax payments that you can hand out to people. There's always limited amount. Even the world's richest country will have finite amount of resources. So when you add in more people, 1 million, 2 million, as you would like to bring them all in, bring all of them in, and that's only 2 million Afghans. There are Syrians, there are Moroccans, there are all that Muslims hate living in Muslim countries. All of them want to leave their Muslim countries behind and they want to come to Christian countries like England. But you have a problem of limited resources. What are you going to do? And she goes, oh, what do you mean? They're not going to take, they're not going to eat off someone else's plate. Yes, they will.
Saying is the present British government
conflating two really important
put the needs of people who come in boats across the Channel ahead of the needs of British people who come in for
Let's take some calls.
Yeah, but Bobby, sorry, can I just interrupt? Bobby, are we supposed to be the carers for the whole of the world?
Yeah.
Look, it's shown.
I don't know what she said there.
Bobby, sorry, can I just interrupt? Bobby, are we supposed to be the carers for the whole of the world? Look, it's shown before when we've invaded countries like Iraq, like Libya.
I know.
Right? That we shouldn't get involved in other countries and the way they want to run their country. They want to run their...
Ooh, consequences of your actions, your actions. So you need to be punished for going into Afghanistan and Iraq. You need to be punished. This is what I'm saying. Like, if my country did something wrong, well, Australia went to Afghanistan and Iraq as an ally. Afghanistan was perfectly justifiable. Iraq, I'd say, okay, fine, whatever. Bad decision made by George W. Bush. But that doesn't mean Australia can be punished, much less by these barbarians in the form of, oh, please let us in. We need support. What these idiots don't understand, again, I've said this many times before, what the West does to these countries is out of their control because that's involuntary on their part. The West letting these people in is voluntary. Yeah? If they can stop. If you can fight. Meet us in the battleground. No, you can't because you didn't invest money into science and technology and education. You were too busy shagging goats. So, well, these are the consequences of not investing, not modernizing with time, not studying, not creating universities. They face consequences. Oh, and by the way, on top of that, they thought that, oh, it's okay. Let's just go jihad on them, fly planes into their buildings. No, they deserved what they got. I'm sorry, I don't make any apologies for that. Now, we did that. Fine. Iraqis, I said it the other day. Iraqis should, well, I don't know. I don't understand why Muslims are angry with the West for attacking Iraq. Look, you're free of Saddam Hussein. If George W. Bush had not invaded Iraq, then your daughters would still be getting banged by Uday, Saddam's son, who was notorious for going to weddings, people's weddings, and he would just have he would rape he would rape the brides in front of their entire families. Iraqis have told these stories. So, you know what? No, these are not consequences of your actions. No, you can, this is voluntary on the West part. We can just say, nope, sorry, boom, boom. I'm not saying shooting them. I'm saying shooting the boats. Sink a couple of boats, rescue the people when they come out, send them back, then they would stop coming. That's it. That's voluntary. They could not do that.
Country their way.
If it isn't the consequences of our actions, this.
Oh, she first said your actions. Now she changed the language. Our actions. Nah, not our actions. You don't deserve to claim England as yours.
Is what we did. We are living in the aftermath of 14 years of brutality. And this is the consequences of our actions. We went in there and we stipulated point blank that we are there to help the women and children of Afghanistan.
You can't keep going back in history. I'm sorry, you can't.
No, we can go back in history. We actually tried. The West did go back and try to liberate their women. Try to install democracy. It didn't work out. These people are too primitive, too barbaric. They cannot have democracy. Why did America stay there for 20 years? America propped up a democracy. America trained their army, strengthened their institutions, hoping that they will stand on their own feet. But it didn't work out. Why? Because Afghanistan is a tribal society. It's a Muslim tribal society. It does not accept democracy. So the moment the Americans left, the Taliban came back. Yeah. Some people say that, oh, this is America's failure. No, I don't think it's America's failure. America should have just bomb, leave. Sorry, I'm going back. You flew planes into our buildings? We fucked you up. America killed Osama bin Laden in 2011. Mullah Omar a couple of years later. Go on, pack up and leave. Don't send boots on the ground. And that's exactly what America is actually trying to do in Iran. America's trying to fuck them up, the Iranians, the Islamic regime, sorry, and hoping that they will, will topple the regime and then will install democracy there. That's the hope. But America should just keep dropping bombs. That's what you should keep doing. Doesn't matter. America doesn't owe nation building. Doesn't owe it. No superpower in history has ever been that humane towards its enemies. That's exactly the case with Israel as well. Israel's leveled Gaza. Israel's under no obligation to rebuild Gaza. I'm just saying that. Okay, I know they probably will. I know the West will. I know that money will pour into Gaza and they will rebuild it. But I'm just saying, okay, you don't have to. No superpower in history has ever done that. So why does the West keep allowing these traitors to gaslight you? Why? Say, shut up, bitch.
Yeah, but we've got to learn the lessons. We've got to learn the lessons from history, Mike.
The only lesson to be learned from history here is bomb them and leave. So bomb them, fuck shit up and leave.
He's saying there is effectively, if we suspect that sending people back means a death sentence for them, we are complicit in it.
We're only sending
bad luck. Sorry, bad luck.
But failed asylum seekers or people who've got a criminal record, OK? We're not... remember, we're not sending everybody back. If people come, they're assessed and they say, right, you've got to justify...
I would heavily scrutinise the assessment system as well. A lot of these people, they're fake migrants. I know some of them. No, I don't personally know some of them, but I've read a lot of their studies. I've read a lot of their stories and a lot of these cases where they're just fake. I actually personally know one. There was this guy in Australia. He claimed homosexuality. He claimed asylum on the basis of homosexuality. He was a Pakistani. And he said, oh, you know what? I can't go back to Pakistan because Pakistan is a homophobic country. So he eventually got permanent residence. And I think within a year of getting permanent residence, he went back to Pakistan, married a woman, applied for her visa, and then the visa officer, then because that guy told this other guy who I helped, who was a genuine ex-Muslim, so he was telling me the story. So the visa officer asked him, "Hey, bro, what happened? You're supposed to be gay. Why are you marrying a woman?" He said, "Oh, well, I'm cured now." so he was gay, but then he cured himself, So that's what they do. The fake most asylum claims at the moment in Britain from Pakistan are on the basis of homosexuality. They're claiming homophobia in Pakistan, which is true, but not really that true. But they're not even homosexuals. Actually, there was a video not so long ago where this woman, where the immigration lawyer in England was telling this guy that, oh, we'll prepare your paperwork, we'll take your photos in outside gay clubs, and you're gonna have to, kiss a few men, and we'll use that as evidence that you're gay. She was busted, but
Viable case, you can stay, that's fine. Okay. We're getting rid of those who will not improve our society. Okay, and there's nothing wrong with that. I think the boat problem in the Channel, I think the number of illegal immigrants now pouring into the country has finally woken up this country to the reality of the fact that we are under societal attack in this country, and we've got to do something.
What's wrong with this stupid person? How's that racist? He perfectly made a cultural argument. How is that racist? It's just as racist as now if she watches this and she said, oh, you're sexist. I'll say the same thing about a man.
People coming into the country because they're changing our country.
So the answer is...
we have a right to resist it.
So the answer is to go across to the Taliban in Afghanistan, with whom we were at war with in living memory, and with people who have been terrorists, who have taken British lives, sit around with a table and they say, how much do you want?
But Matt, you know that
refugee.
History proves that you have to change your mind all the time and who you're dealing with. I mean, at one time, the people who now run Israel were terrorists. but we had to deal with them when Palestine was Palestine. In fact, you have to change your mind all the
I don't agree with that, but sure.
time and adjust to be pragmatic about how you serve the interests of your own country.
And that ended up really well.
Not other people's
The
countries.
Home Office no longer classifies...
I just don't understand. What's the argument here? The West should go in, fly planes into our buildings, we're going to bomb the shit out of you, and then we're going to leave. We're going to leave you to your own accord. Do your own nation building shit or whatever. That's it. That's how it should be, guys. I don't know why America wastes so much time in nation building and all that. You know, forget it. What's the point? They're never going to say thank you. They're never going to say, oh, thank you for installing democracy like Iraq. Iraq is a democracy now. I know it's still an evolving democracy. It's not the pinnacle of a nation building, but it's still better than being under Saddam.
Taliban as terrorists. So for them to do that, Nellifer, there must have been some kind of recalibration about their activities at the moment, or maybe it's the fact that they are the governing body now in Afghanistan. So we deal with them as that. That's what you have to do. That's
what do you say to the hundreds of service persons that were killed in Afghanistan? What do you say to them?
To their relatives.
Thank you for their sacrifices, and we're horrible. It's horrible that they died. And well, we acknowledge that they fought for their country and they paid the ultimate price, and their sacrifice will never be forgotten. And they fought to uphold their country's values. We're not going to dilute those values by importing barbarians, the very barbarians they went in to fight.
What do you say about what they gave their lives for? How can you, in your right, like with self-respect and decency, stand in front of the families and the relatives and what they fought for? They fought, they were dying for a free country.
You're looking for
what is she talking about? That, oh my God, that's a flippant argument. It's usually the Patriots show you that. What did the diggers die for? What did the World War II veterans die for? What did they die for? They didn't die for this. They didn't die for this. Look at this. This is Bradford.
Look at that.
Did World War II veterans, did World War II soldiers die for this? Is that what they died for? So England can be colonized by these third world... Oh my goodness. She turned the argument around. That argument, that's a non sequitur. It doesn't even make sense.
No, I'm not. No. This is really, really.
Sat down and formed the European Union with Germany.
The European Union,
after the Second World War. That's what politics is. That's what diplomacy is.
This isn't Germany after the war, where they were going to get a new country out of it. The Taliban haven't changed. There was no such thing as the Taliban 2.0. If anything, they are even more determined, well-armed, well-funded, and now they've got a nation. The Taliban stands against the West.
Of course.
They are our enemies.
Yes, the people have to do something about it. We can't bring them in, because especially when 99% of Afghans will believe in Sharia. They want Sharia to be the law of the land. They want that.
18 months after the end of the Vietnam War, the United States was opening up trade channels with Vietnam. I'm afraid that the real...
It's funny that they say that now about the Taliban, but funnily enough, if you look at Hamas, they are massive Hamas supporters. And they talk about Hamas as a great thing, flying and supporting them in our streets in the United Kingdom. So apparently now the Taliban aren't reformed, but again, Hamas are okay. It just fits and chooses whatever their argument, so be it. Now, again, the individuals that don't belong to be here, it doesn't matter. They got to sort out where they're going to be deported to. That's just the reality of the situation now, whether that's Afghanistan or Eritrea. The UK isn't a dumping ground.
It isn't. And you can't take everyone in, guys. You just can't. Like, as I said, these ideas of giving asylum to persecuted people, it worked. Before the system got abused in 2025, so before 2015, before Angela Merkel let in these millions of people let into Europe, before that, every Western country used to take in, 100, 150 genuine asylum seekers, and the scrutiny used to be extreme, as it should be. They used to scrutinize every single case for months on end. The actual vetting process for a genuine asylum seeker through proper channels it can be between 3 to 4 years. I know a couple of ex-Muslims I know one ex-Muslim. He's been waiting to be relocated to Canada. He's an ex-Muslim since 2017. It's almost been 10 years. He's got his visa and everything now, but he's still. That's how long it actually takes. Or the other option was jump on a boat and that's it. Say, hey, I'm an asylum seeker. That's it. So this system got abused. So before 2015, this system worked because you can absorb 100, 150, 1,000 asylum seekers. But because they're genuine, that's why they have a better chance of integration and assimilation. But yeah, these woke women, gotta get rid of them. They are suicidal and they want to bring us down with them. I say, sorry. I mean, I'm not gonna say that we need to deport her. She's a proper westernized woman. But yeah, but we need to make her irrelevant.